Hello, everyone, and welcome to today's episode of the Rebel Rule Breaker podcast. My name is Celina Rose, and I am your host. Today, I want to bring a very controversial topic to the table, as we do here on this podcast, around the fact that left unchecked, you are actually not you. Don't get me wrong, you are a part of you, but you're not actually you. You are the version of you that you were taught to be by your parents. You are the version of you that you were taught is acceptable to be included in the tribe of your family. So in order to not risk getting abandoned, getting excluded from your tribe, you adapted into the rules, into the limitations, into the restrictions, into the stories, into everything that you thought was acceptable by your parents to be accepted into the tribe, to be safe and secure in their tribe. And that's why we all of a sudden have so many people walking around being numb, being lost, everything, because they're not really being who they are. They're not really being you. You're not walking around as you if this is left unchecked. And then when we start to work on it, we start to challenge it, you become more of who you are. You're always a version of you. But the fully embodied, I belong here, I am here version of you is hiding somewhere deep beneath everything you were taught. And the thing that I feel like most people is not seeing with this, and it's most likely because there are emotions involved. When emotions are involved, we don't necessarily think very logical. We can't. Like, it's two different parts of the brain. They can't function necessarily at the same time really well. But the thing is, if you notice what I've said, this is something that you have been taught, probably unknowingly, but it's something that you have been taught. But because we have emotions in the mix, it solidifies in a way in our systems. But it's something that you have been taught. And what's the most beautiful thing about the mind? It can learn new things. It can be taught new things all damn life. Throughout your entire existence and experience, you can be taught new things. So who you're walking around as, with these contracted feelings and limitations and restrictions and discomfort in your body, that can be changed. Not because there's something wrong with it. And now, I am not saying just stuff it away, teach your body that this is okay, teach your mind that this is okay. No. From the inside out, from the emotional experience out, from the mental experience out, from the biochemical, the neural, I lost my words now. From the neural pathways, from the brain waves, from a cellular level and out. Doesn't start up here. We have to be aware of it first to then work with it. So I want to ask you, who do you really want to be? And what comes up as to why you're not that person? And why do you want to be that person? Because very often, when we have been living like someone we're not, and we see people out there in the world doing all of these crazy things, and we're like, oh my God, I wish I could do that. But do you really wish you could do that to experience that? Or do you wish that you just had the courage or the belief on the safety that that was available should you choose it? Because there's a huge ass difference in wanting to be that person, to have that experience, or to just feel free enough, confident enough, secure enough to have that experience, should you then choose it. But very often we connect to what that person is doing to exactly that experience because we want to have that experience. Because that's logical, that's tangible. But in reality, it's not the experience that we want, let's say skydiving or free jumping or rock climbing or whatever, you know? It's not the experiences that we per se want. But we just want to have that security, the feeling that the energy that they ooze out into the world. We just want to have that. But because we think that it's because of the experience, but the experience actually always comes later. Because you can go out and have the experience as you right now. But it's not really the experience that we want. We want to have the feeling, the energies that they ooze out. So instead of connecting to different kinds of experiences that you actually want, in terms of who do you want to be? Who are you really underneath all of this? It's about coming home to the feelings that are already there. Because it's actually not a matter of making, of creating. It's a matter of remembering, of rediscovering, of connecting with something that's already there. Because who you are, all the way in here, he or she is already there. He or she is already there. Waiting, 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 waiting. And none of them is going to come out before you choose it, before you're ready for it, before that's what you decide that you want in your life. And the longer it takes for you to decide that that's what you want in your life, the longer this is going to continue. And now I'm not saying there's anything wrong with where you are right now. But if you want something else, something more, something different, something better, something juicier, we have to do something else. I love, Edison's or Einstein's, definition of insanity. Doing the same thing, expecting a different outcome. And I have to admit, like for many, many, many years, I actually walked around thinking that I was doing different things to try to get a different outcome. But the thing that I didn't realize, the thing that I didn't realize is that it matters shit what I do. If I'm still walking around in here, believing, living, breathing, existing as a lesser part, not lesser worth, but as a lesser part than who I am, than who I want to be, than what I want to experience. I can try so fucking much to get those experiences. I can try so much having like the love of my life, the great communication with my kids, and deepest intimacy, and an amazing business, and great food, and lots of mental capacity and stuff like that. I can do all the things to try to get that. But if this doesn't change, if this and this doesn't change, you can try as much as you want. It ain't going to change, because who you are remains. You're just doing something differently. And it's really who you are that got to change. But the hurdle about this is that if you're changing who you are because you hate where you are, it's not going to work. Well, it is going to work, but it's not going to last, because it's built on hate. It's built on resentment. And everything that you're building in contrast to something else, then the thing you're building it in contrast to is going to happen still, because that's still your main focus. Okay, so if this is to make sense more, if you want a stable foundation, you gotta go down and repair the foundation. You gotta go down and stabilize the foundation. You gotta rip apart what's up there that doesn't work, that's unstable because of the foundation. And you gotta rip apart the things that's in the way for that to happen. We've got to do it with love, because everything that we have been taught, everything that has gotten us to where we are today, to who we are today, has been to protect us. It's not some crazy ass limitations. I don't want you to go anywhere because I want you to be mine, and I want you to play little and tiny and itty bitty and not matter. No. This is scary out here. I want to stay here. This is safe. I want us to be safe. That's why you are where you are today. That's why you are who you are today. And that's why it's important to do this work, not out of hate, not out of resentment, but out of joy, but out of pleasure, out of love, out of curiosity. Curiosity is such a huge part of this. Okay, why do I think this? Okay, why do I believe this? Okay, why is this the truth for me? Because again, the thing is that's so beautiful. We can reteach the mind. We can reteach the body. We can reprogram the cells. Make new pathways in the mind, neurological pathways. Teach it safety, security, love, confidence, creativity, voice. We can teach, you can teach your body anything that you want to teach it. It's just a matter of finding the right tools that works for you. And believing, or working on your belief that it's actually possible for you. Because if you don't really think that it is, that's the same thing as doing something different without changing who you are. So do you actually believe that this change is available for you? Do you actually believe that you can be something more? Not because there's something wrong with who you are, because you can upgrade it. You upgrade it and you can get better. Just like technology. The growth of technology, like, it's been insane over the past years. But that didn't mean there was anything wrong with what we already had. It just meant something better was available. Something better could be created. Something that runs smoother. Something that looks better. Something that feels better. Something that takes less energy. Runs better. Consumes less power. All of these things. It's available to you too. Each of these things, statements I just made, can be turned around to something around your body, something around how you work, something around your mind. It doesn't mean you're a machine, but it just means that a lot of the mainstream things I see is that you shouldn't wish for change, because if you wish for change, that means that there's something wrong. No, changing something doesn't mean there's anything wrong. Like, if you color your walls differently in your house, does it mean there's something wrong? No. It just means that that color doesn't fit anymore. That color is not how you want it to look anymore. That color doesn't ooze up the feeling that you want to get when you walk into the room. That color doesn't match the new furniture. Doesn't mean there's anything wrong with the color. It doesn't mean that the color didn't do you anything good while it was there. It just means that now it's time for something new. You don't have to fix it. We don't have to shame the color. We don't have to blame it. We don't have to hate it or resent it. Thank you for the lovely memories we've had together. Thank you for keeping me company. Goodbye. That's it. And it's the same thing in here. It's the same thing in here. We are so afraid to admit, to even see that it's so fucking simple. Because that means that we actually have to take responsibility and do something. That means that we actually can take responsibility and do something now. And that shit, that can be fucking scary. The thought that right here, right now, you can actually do something differently to get something different. That shit is scary. Because all of a sudden, there's no one else to blame. There's nowhere else you can leak the energy to, where you can push the reasons onto, the responsibility. It's on you. You. Your responsibility is on you. Always. And who you are has kept you safe from the things that you don't want to take responsibility from, the things that you were taught not to take responsibility for, the things that you were taught was dangerous or not okay or uncomfortable or scary or provoking to take responsibility for. But most of all, you were probably taught not to take responsibility for your own emotions. And that, beauties, that's work. Taking responsibility for your own emotions, for your actions, for your thoughts, for your present moment, to get more gorgeous present moments in the future. Because as I say when we are with kids, as is the same with you, we are not just right here, right now. Even though we are alive right here, right now, but who we are, what we do right here, right now, affects the ripples. We are not raising children. We are raising men and women. And just as you are not just right here, right now, you have an end, an expiration date, if you want to say it like that. And when that day comes, how do you want to feel? Who do you want to be? It doesn't happen like that. It doesn't. Start going. It's just so fucking worth it. So much. But only you can create it. Only you can see it. Only you can rediscover it. And on that note, thank you for watching this episode, and I hope I'll see you in the next one. Bye.